In the deafening roar of World War II, amidst the mud and chaos of the front lines, a single moment of quiet humanity can be more powerful than any explosion. We often think of war in terms of victory and defeat, of heroes and villains. But what happens when the lines blur? What happens when a soldier, trained to kill, chooses to save? This is the story of Private Anton, a man whose split-second decision in the heat of battle would echo through the rest of his life and the life of the enemy he spared. It's a tale that challenges our understanding of war, courage, and the profound, often paradoxical, nature of the human heart. Imagine the scene: a desolate, war-torn landscape somewhere on the Eastern Front. The air is thick with the smell of gunpowder and fear. Private Anton, just a young man really, is huddled in a foxhole, his rifle clutched in his trembling, frozen hands. For days, his world has been nothing but noise, terror, and survival. He's seen things no person should ever see, done things he never thought himself capable of. The humanity he once knew feels like a distant memory, a casualty of the conflict. He and his unit are pinned down by relentless enemy fire. Every shadow could be death, every sound a prelude to the end. Then, a lull in the fighting. The silence is almost more terrifying than the noise. Peering over the edge of his muddy shelter, Anton spots movement. An enemy soldier, no older than himself, is trying to crawl to safety, wounded and exposed. His uniform is different, his language is foreign, but the look in his eyes is universal. Fear, pain, and a desperate will to live. Anton raises his rifle, his training, his duty, every instinct screaming for survival, tells him to pull the trigger. This is the enemy. This is war. It's him or me. His finger tightens on the cold metal, but in that critical moment, something shifts. He sees not a faceless enemy, but a young man, just like him. He sees the photograph that might be in his pocket, the family waiting for his return, the life he was forced to leave behind. Was this man evil? Or was he, like Anton, just a pawn in a much larger, more brutal game? The crosshairs hover over the wounded soldier's chest. The world seems to hold its breath. Anton's heart pounds against his ribs. One squeeze of the finger, and it's over. One life extinguished, one threat eliminated. It's the logical choice, the soldier's choice. And then he lowers his rifle. He doesn't fire. Instead, he watches as the wounded soldier, with a look of utter disbelief, manages to pull himself behind the relative safety of a ruined wall. The moment is gone. The enemy has escaped. Anton has failed his duty, at least by the cold calculus of war. His comrades might call him a coward, or a fool. He might even have put his own unit at greater risk. But in that instant, he chose mercy over violence. He chose a shared humanity over a shared conflict. He saved a life he was supposed to take. This single act of compassion didn't end the war. It didn't earn him a medal. In fact, it was a secret he carried, a heavy, complicated burden. Why did he do it? Even he couldn't fully explain it. Was it weakness? Or was it a different kind of strength? This decision haunted Anton in the quiet moments after the battle, and for years after the war ended, he would replay that scene in his mind. He would wonder about the man he saved. Did he survive the war? Did he get to go home to his family? Did he ever think about the soldier who had him in his sights and chose to look away? The psychological toll of war isn't just about the trauma of combat. It's also about the moral injuries, the moments that challenge a soldier's sense of right and wrong. For Anton, sparing a life was as psychologically complex as taking one. He had defied the very essence of his role. This act of humanity, in an inhuman environment, became a defining moment of his existence. It was a testament to the fact that even in the darkest of times, the individual's capacity for empathy can endure, a flicker of light in an overwhelming darkness. Think about the ethical dilemma Anton faced. The rules of war are designed to create order in chaos, but they often strip away individual moral choice. Soldiers are trained to dehumanize the enemy to make the act of killing possible. It's a survival mechanism. But what happens when that mechanism fails? When you see the person, not the uniform? Anton's story forces us to confront this difficult question. True heroism isn't always about charging into enemy fire or racking up kills. Sometimes, the most heroic act is the quiet refusal to participate in the cycle of violence, even for a moment. It's the courage to uphold your own moral code when the world is demanding you abandon it. This story isn't unique to Anton. Throughout history, in every conflict, there have been these undocumented moments of compassion. A shared cigarette between enemies during a ceasefire. A medic treating a wounded soldier from the other side. A simple nod of understanding across no man's. These aren't the stories that make it into the official histories, but they are crucial to understanding the full human experience of war. They remind us that the people fighting are just that people. They are sons, fathers, brothers, caught in circumstances beyond their control. The soldier Anton saved was never identified. He became a ghost in Anton's memory, a symbol of the life he preserved. For Anton, this act wasn't about being a hero. It was about retaining a piece of himself, a piece of his soul, that the war was trying to strip away. It was a personal rebellion against the madness surrounding him. He lived the rest of his life as a quiet, thoughtful man, forever changed not just by the horrors he witnessed, but by the single act of mercy he performed. He understood the cost of violence, not just in terms of lives lost, but in the damage it does to the humanity of those who survive. Anton's story serves as a powerful reminder that the human spirit is resilient. It can find ways to express kindness and empathy, even under the most extreme pressure. It challenges us to look beyond the headlines and statistics of war and to see the individual human beings involved. It's a story about the war within ourselves, the battle between our training and our conscience, between hate and empathy, between survival and morality. And it suggests that sometimes the greatest victory is not winning the battle, but winning back your own humanity. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the psyche of war. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the human heart behind the front line. We'll see you in the next one.